being vegan for 4 months now. I did have a breakout in spots. I think acne and a breakout is kind of expected. Okay, I will say it was quite bad. Don't let it put you off. Like, I mean, if you're thinking of trying a plant-based diet, like...
One, haven't eaten anything we liked for 2 weeks, but on the other hand, our skin had never looked worse. I basically looked like a teenager again, and I was absolutely gutted. Yeah, the 3rd month of me doing this, and I had lost my period as well. Yeah, that has a real knock-on effect on your hormones. But in all honesty, things just got a hell of a lot worse. I'll insert some pictures here after 1 month. So as you can see on the sides of my face, they were starting to break up. It was going to eventually kind of come through for me and I would have this perfect skin, but it wasn't. It was actually starting to scar my skin. So I kind of omitted defeat and I sort of introduced meat back into my diet. Going back to having more of a balanced diet was definitely the kind of stepping stone to clearing my skin.
I decided to go raw because of my acne problem. However, my acne is so much worse to the point that I don't even want to leave the house anymore. I really hope it's just the detox and it'll pass soon. I can just so easily answer them because I have been through that almost exact situation. Now, my skin absolutely exploded after I went raw. Horrific. I mean, I would literally spend my Friday nights doing a facial and getting extractions, and I had these just cysts all over me, and it plagued me. It was horrible. And it's something that you just have to accept. You have to pay your debt to nature for however long you were eating badly. It took me at least 2 years before I saw a significant difference in my skin. But maybe if the detox is getting too much for you, incorporate some salad.
I have my banana smoothie here. So this is 13 bananas. Maybe 6 months into being vegan, that I started getting a lot of acne, and I was like, what is going on? Like, and I never really, I hadn't had acne for a long time. My skin was usually very clear, and it was getting really bad, like welts down my neck and along my jaw. So I decided to eat more raw, so clean, like just eating fruits and vegetables, raw, water, and that's it. But they were still there. They were still there. So I was eating like meals of oranges, like 20, 25 oranges at a time. Every day I had an orange meal for lunch of like 25 oranges.
I went vegan because my skin started to break out in these little spots on the top of my forehead. It was, in my opinion, it was just a bit of a detox period for me. I recently went on a soy overdose. I went from normal milk to plant-based milks. A few weeks into it, I noticed that every day at about 12 o'clock, I was crying. And I didn't know why. And then I'd be fine. So 12 o'clock, I cry. Then I'm fine, next day, go to work. 12 o'clock, I'm crying about soy milk and how it can affect your body and can affect your hormones. I cut it out, stopped crying, everything was fine. And then recently I have been incorporating more tofu. So I started eating a lot more tofu. Before long, my face started getting very spotty, my back got spotty, my boobs were hurting, and I could just tell that something was off.
And so when I went vegan and all this acne started happening and I was just feeling more tired and frustrated and depressed, my instant response was to incorporate more supplements, more vitamins. A lot of people have been like, maybe the vegan diet isn't for you, and I don't want to make that decision just yet.
Why I chose to go vegan, this isn't scripted, but I have been breaking out more, which I guess is a negative. I did start being vegan with like completely clear skin, and I have broken out, I would say, probably in about like 4 cysts and 3 whiteheads, which is pretty weird for me. Maybe my hormones are trying to level out, maybe I'm like purging toxins and that's why it's coming out in the form of acne. It gets to a certain point where it's like, what's more important? Like your personal well-being and health or the animals? Because if I get to a certain point where I'm consistently breaking out and it's making me mentally upset or like mentally unfit, I guess, then is it really worth it to keep continuing on that diet? Those are the kind of questions, you know, that you have to ask yourself.
As a raw vegan, I drew a line in the sand. I said, enough's enough. My skin is so out of hand. My skin became so inflamed, I believe through wheat, gluten, and grains. It was just so dreadful. I had acne everywhere. I've still got a little bit. I've been raw for 6 months. I had a massive breakout 2 weeks ago, which I hadn't broken out for a long time. I went on a no overt fat challenge for a month, and it put me into a heavy detox and drew a lot of acne out of my skin.
My week 2 check-in on the raw vegan diet. And are you guys seeing these shiners here? I am like blooming. I heard from other people that this is common when you transition to a raw vegan diet, that you get kind of like a crop of like acne during an initial detox period.
Most of us are experiencing some kind of hormonal imbalance. I broke out worse than I have ever broken out in my life. Like, I went to go brush my teeth and I was mortified when I looked in the mirror and saw like the entire right side of my face was like almost like little chicken pox and hives everywhere. I noticed that when I wasn't taking my iron suppositories, I noticed that I would have like a little bit of flare up. Breakouts are also linked to a vitamin D deficiency, zinc, and omega-3s.
Guys, I'm Lucy and I've been vegan for 11 months now. And one of the biggest things I've learned was detox. In veganism, when you detox, it mostly means that when your body's kind of getting rid of all the animal products. I've met people that their hair starts falling out. So
everybody, but like with the cystic acne and detox and symptoms like that, how long? I had that for about 9 months.
You had cystic acne?
Just on the AD1010, it got really bad really fast, and as soon as I got off the AD1010, it like started cleaning right up.
Exactly. So what did you eat to break the 80-10-10 fast with?
Like cooked vegan food.
Yeah, okay, well then you stopped the detox